Alright, ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing Piett Red. So this is the deck I'm hopefully going to be using for this set. We'll see how well it works out, but I'm just going to explain to you guys basically the goals for this deck, some of the interactions, and then I will show you some gameplay. So it's it's extremely simple. Piett, you can play a capital ship for one less when he is your leader. When he's in play as a unit, capital ships cost two less. So, for capital ships, we have Outlaw Corona, Star Destroyers, Resupply Carriers, Ruthless Raiders, Assault Cruisers, Devastators, and more Devastators. Now, to get those ships onto the board as fast as possible, we have Resupply, as well as Price on Your Head, Assault Cruisers, and Resupply Carriers. So every single one of those is going to get us more resources. And then for ground units, we have things like Captain Tarkin to give our vehicles Overwhelm and give them one more damage. And then we also have Piett to give any unit that costs 6 or more, so most of our capital ships Ambush. And then we have Dengar, who pairs extremely well with the Outlaw Coronas, because they're going to be doing 3 indirect damage, and it also makes them tankier, so they're not getting the bounty as soon. And then to protect our ground units, we have Phase 3 Dark Troopers, which are just a simple 3/3 Sentinel unit. Now, in order to get more ships, we also have some Prepare for Takeoffs, but there's enough in this deck that you should be pulling all of the right ones, because they're pretty interchangeable at certain times. But if you can't find them, Prepare for Takeoff. If not, just resource them. There's nothing wrong with it. Early game, turn 1, we have the options of Kylo's TIE Silencers, TIE Bombers, or Outlaw Coronas. And in order to keep enemy pilots out of the way, we also have Confiscates, which are extremely powerful in this set. Now, also pairing with our capital ships, we have Planetary Bombardment. This is a huge card from the new set. And I love the way it works, especially if you have Devastators in. Getting to choose where every single point of that 12 damage goes is massive. So, basically, the goal is turn 1 with 2 resources. We play an Outlaw Corona. Turn 2, Resupply. And then turn 3, we bring in Piett, because we will then be at 5 resources, and we can play something like the Ruthless Raider, the Resupply Carrier, or the Gladiator Star Destroyer. All fantastic cards. Dengar, nice to have. Even if your turn 3 that isn't looking like a 6-cost ship, you can still bring in a Dark Trooper to protect your Piett, and then bring in something else that's a little smaller, like another Piett, a TIE Silencer, or even just do a Prepare for Takeoff, throw a bounty on something, control the board a little bit with Confiscate. So all these cards work pretty well together. My favorite so far, honestly, is just these Devastators. We don't have a ton of indirect damage, but just mainly for these planetary bombardments, they're just so good. And then for the sideboard, we have Unlicensed Headhunters. If you're not confident in playing the Outlaw Coronas, because that bounty is extremely detrimental if they get it. So yeah, if you especially against the blue deck, it's probably better to use Headhunters, but Coronas also feel very strong, considering that they're not likely to get killed before turn 3. And by turn 3 is when you get in Star Destroyers, Resupply Carriers, and Ruthless Raiders to hopefully take care of whatever would kill them. We also have one more Planetary Bombardment, because why not? Open Fires are a good swap in for Prepare for Takeoffs if you feel like you're getting good ships already, or even Price on Your Heads if you feel like you're not getting good use of them. It's just 4 damage for 3 cost. Being able to take out a ground unit early game, especially when your ground will be weak and you're going for space, always a good option. And then, of course, Timely Intervention. If you don't have Pietts in your hand, paying 1 to ambush in something like a Devastator or even a Ruthless Raider is still huge. It's still massive damage, and it still gets you ahead for 1 resource. that's about it for the interactions. There's nothing too special, and yeah, I'll show you guys some gameplay in a second. Alright, so we are playing Boba Fett Yellow. Pretty common deck for this set. Boba Fett's honestly a really solid card, and yellow just adds a lot to it. So we'll see how this goes. If he decides whether or not he wants to keep his hand sometime this year. There we go. Okay, so look at that. We have the La Corona resupply turn 1. We can put 1 resupply down, and I think we're going to get rid of a price on your head. So we're tap Piett, play the La Corona. I'm expecting some fire sprays in this deck, obviously. And he goes TIE Bombers. Okay. That's not bad. Prepare for takeoff, Dark Trooper. I think we're actually going to put this down, because then we're going to resupply. He's going to do 3 indirect to base, likely. Yep, so just the 3 indirect. We'll do 1 here and 2 to base. Because he can. He hasn't played anything yet this turn, which is good. So we got 3, we're up at 4, so we're already 1 ahead. But like I said, if he catches up, he exhausts Boba Fett. Just do 1 indirect damage. Yeah, I'm just going to do the 1 bait to the unit. So it is at 3. So if he's got something that hits for 3 with ambush, a little bit less fun. We'll get to chip in early game. Maybe better to go for initiative there, but it's okay. It's fine that we hit though, because like he still has 3 resources and the rest of his turn to go. Plays Lurking TIE Phantoms. So we are going to claim initiative. That is going to be a pain. And we have no... Wow, well, this is not amazing. I think we're going to have to go that down. See, they're going to get the resources turn, which means they're going to be able to bring in Boba Fett sooner than later. Not fantastic, but yeah, we'll do this. Not my favorite thing, but needed to be done. And I think we're just going to go with a prepare for takeoff and a silencer this turn. We'll bring in Piett, depending on what he does ground-wise. Don't want him to just get smacked around, but this is looking like it'll be a longer turn because I'm playing 2 and bringing him in. Don't need to attack, he doesn't hit for much. So does that. He's up on damage right now, which is pretty good for him. Yeah. Sauce Boba done. So we're just going to prepare for takeoff. We will take 1 Devastator and... Ooh, we're going to go with the Resist Raider. Let's go. Why not? But next turn we can bring in the Assault Cruiser, taking out his TIE Bomber, or something else. Maybe, hopefully, a Fire Spray, honestly. We'll keep Confiscate for if he brings in his Boba Fett as a pilot. And then the TIE Silencer are not super needed. The only problem is Piett is vulnerable. 1 damage to each of up to 3. So he's going to get the bounty. Okay. But it's fine. in. Can't really do anything with him this turn, so we'll just play TIE Silencer, do 2 to base, and pass. Okay, so another Devastator. As great as the Devastator is... Ooh, actually, I haven't seen... Did we have planetary bombardment before? I didn't look. That's not fantastic. I should have paid attention to that, but it's okay. We're just gonna put Tarkin down. Love Tarkin, but... Gotta do what you gotta do. He's probably going to send this into this, just because his unit won't die. We're tied on resources, which isn't great because the entire goal of this is to get up on resources. It's okay. Because we're going to play an 8-cost ship. And if we have to play the Confiscate because he brings in Boba Fett, then we play the 6-cost ship and Confiscate. He's taking his time, which means he either has something good in his hand or he has garbage and doesn't know what to do. TIE Silencer. Perfect. Yeah, I guess we'll... We need to get up on a resource, so we'll just do this. Into the bomber, because the bomber can still attack. And it's not like he can put Boba Fett on that now. He could do it on this, but we'll see. We shall see. He's only got one Phantom. Got one. Hopefully next turn we can put the Assault Cruiser into IG. Just more wonderful damage. Now we've got Sentinel going on in space, and it's going to be 8 damage minimum to a unit. So even if he brings in Boba Fett, we can probably just play this instead of having to confiscate. See, there's the fire spray. So we're gonna take 5, which is not gonna be great, but he's gonna attack, so we can do an extra 2 to the base. There's no consequences. Has to attack. He doesn't have to, but he played it ready, so I see him putting Boba Fett on the unit. It's gonna hit hard. Yep. It's for 9. If he goes into the cruiser, it's not terrible, honestly. I'd rather him go into the cruiser, because then I can just play the Raider. Or even just Devastator, but Devastator kind of feels like a waste. Try this Devastator, honestly. We'll see. I'd be very happy if he left this alive, because then next turn we take this out, and we send the cruiser into that for another resource. It's huge. Okay, so... Damn. Well, we're just gonna claim, there's nothing else we can do here. And then, yep. So I have the initiative. We're going to put this down as a resource, and then we're going to do the Devastator. I could probably put the other Devastator down, but it's not that bad. 1, 2, 3, and 1. Bada bing, bada boom. I'm so... Honestly, it's so much better that he took that out. Now we're hoping for a planetary. Planetary would be huge right now. He's got nothing going. This would be a really short turn for me, though. 4 to Piett, kind of rough, but it seems like he's going space as well. So this is a really good matchup for me. Yep, another fire spray. 2 indirect. We're just going to do it to base. We'll tie it up there damage-wise. He might claim initiative depending on what he's got in his hand. Yep. And then we will pass. So we'll put 1 Devastator down. Maybe get in a nice little ambush Ruthless Raider. Maybe. So this does 6 damage. We do 9. So we're just going to hit base. We have no reason not to hit base. We can play a Devastator, but I'd prefer he play something and then we play Devastator just so we know if we're getting better value. We're up 1 resource. It would be nice to be up 1 more, but in this situation, like, we have so much more value on the board than he does, and we're tied on damage. He's already deployed his leader. And now I'm at the point where having Piett on the board, even if he goes back, isn't terrible, because I can still play a Devastator for 9. Or a Raider for 5, and then we've got, like, another, I could play something like this. We'll see. Surprise Strike, okay. Nice little 1, gets +3 for the attack. Gonna do indirect, so I mean, might as well just do the Devastator, right? Because he's gonna hit Devastator or base. And he's one-shotting Devastator anyways. So now he's gotta decide, yep. And we're just gonna play. How do we want to do this? We'll do this. And then we're just going to Raider in. Devastator, there's just nothing to play it into right now. Even if he plays something else, he's got 6. But it's not the worst predicament. It is just the Sentinel's Overwhelm, but I can ambush it in now. So that Overwhelm's going to do more, so is the When Played, and then it's just a 10-10. See, look at that. We're twinning. He's going to do 2, he can't even take out, wow. He's going to have to do Boba Fett, but I get to choose, I'll just put it into him. It does 2 there, 2 there, I'm going to go 2 there, 2 base, like, we're pretty even right now. He's taking a lot of time between his turns. Okay, so one there. Boba Fett. Yeah, so we're gonna do there. And yeah, we'll trigger it. No reason not to. Bada bing, bada boom. Tied on damage. Way more value on the board. He has no resources. He's going to claim initiative. And now we can bring in Tarkin. Yeah. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So we're going to do that down. I don't really need to hold on to confiscates now that his Boba Fett's dead, but I'd like to hold on to them. Let's try to get these play Devastator, and we still have confiscate in our back pocket. And, I mean, not to be that person, but should be game soon. I bet he waited to do the Ruthless Raider. The one defeated. This card is so much value because it's like 4 unit damage and 4 base damage, and it's a 4/6. So you're getting probably 8 damage in. 8 of it's going to a unit. 4 is going to base. Means you're likely gonna attack a unit. Okay, see, this is perfect. Because now we Devastator. Huge. He's going to do 1 each, which isn't enough to kill the Raider, even if it was. Like, no problem. toss Boba Fett for the 1 damage. We'll put it into Tarkin. Tarkin's not very devastator. Bada bing, bada boom. And now we've got Sentinel, so he has to do indirect, but I get to choose where indirect goes. So, Raider. I mean, it hits for 4, I hit for 5, so it's a winning exchange for me. Base. Unfortunate that I couldn't get overwhelm value, but it's okay. We're just gonna put his base low as hell. He can 1-tap it next turn with Devastator if he doesn't do something about it. He's probably... I want to say he resourced, hoping to get a good card, but even if he didn't, I think we're doing okay. I mean, GG's. Yeah, so that is Piett Red. The deck list will be in the description. This is just it. It's spelled wrong, obviously, because why wouldn't we? But yeah, it feels like a really solid deck. Obviously some tweaking as I play it more, but so far, good times. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next time.